Your bio says you are a psychologist, you are a world traveler, you are an author, you are a spiritual acolyte, and an eternal optimist.
I was just going to the office and feeling completely completed, just sitting there staring at the screen, not finding energy to do anything. I think 6 months away from you get 3 months off. And I left before that. I mean, how stupid. In 2015, my suitcase got stolen on a train in India, right above my head. What was I thinking? Okay, we go through it. Okay, suddenly I was just sitting there in deep meditation for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And slowly, I found peace and quiet inside. The travel has taught me simplicity is luxury. It's taking things as they come, one step at a time. It is okay. Things will turn out. Uncertainty becomes certainty because it will happen.
Borger, how are you feeling today?
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can sense it from your expressions and from your zeal to talk a lot about the life, about whatever you are doing. So your bio says you are a psychologist, you are a world traveler, you are an author, you are a spiritual acolyte, and an eternal optimist. I want to break down each word in this conversation so that viewers must know about you in detail. But before we dive into this, I want to first ask, how did it all start for you?
Yeah, it's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big question. But yes, I come from Norway. I grew up on a farm with 7 siblings. Parents and grandparents, we all shared one house. So, and we all had to contribute to work hard. I'm number 7 out of 8. And so it was natural for me to think I would wanted to do something within agriculture. So I happy-go-lucky, doing what I want to do. And so I did this agricultural degree and also had this dream of going to Australia. So I went as an exchange student after my agricultural studies and worked on a farm for 8 months. And that was in 1986. It was not a common thing to do. And I remember looking for information. It was very hard to find information. The flight was very, very expensive. But my parents always, they never stopped me to do anything. And that's what I wanted to do. And I did. And then I met my ex-husband. And then I also did something unconventional because they pulled us all together. All these exchange students that were scattered all over Australia, working on farms, and we were all going on a bus trip. But of course, I didn't want to go on a bus trip.
Why?
Why? I don't know. I just wanted to do something more exciting.
All right. That was not exciting. So, yeah.
And so I bought what they had then, a kangaroo pass where you could fly to 3 different destinations. And one of them was Ayers Rock. And I met my ex-husband. And so I went back to Norway and I did a lot when I was there in 8 months. I went to Perth because this was in Melbourne. I went to Perth, I went to Bali even because I thought, I've got to make the most out of this. I'll probably never come back to Australia.
Yeah.
And I remember particularly sitting in Perth. Anyone been to Australia know about Kings Park, looking over the Swan River, and I was dreaming if I ever was here, I would study at the University of Western Australia. And that was kind of far off. I was not very good in English. It was not my strongest subject at school, not like these days where you have English from a very early grade. Very different now. And because we never practiced English back then and at home. And so I didn't know. I'm saying this because we'll see this all the time, how we can dream and we don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
And so I went back to Norway, and it turned out to be like a 2-year, my ex-husband and I, we traveled back and forth for a couple of years. Then we got married in Norway. So it was all like a fairy tale, And then, I moved to Australia, and which became one chapter. I was only 22, and I wanted to do veterinary. I looked into maybe doing law, and but I ended up studying at Western Australia University.
Oh.
It's just unreal. Very poor English, and had no plans of becoming a psychologist. And that was, again, unreal, and totally unreal for me to be studying in an English language, even at a university. I had no ambition or no idea about that's something I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I finished my degree, got a job, worked at Royal Perth Hospital as a psychologist, started off as a psychologist there. And then you become a registrar. So you go through a long process. I finished actually after 4 years, and then you had to do, if you do your master's, I did my master's afterwards, but then working at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then life also became, after I got tired of that job, the confinement, working, 9 to 5, and got divorced, which was a very difficult time in my life. And then after that, my job, another relationship, the place I lived, nothing kind of worked for me. So I looked for other options. It was a very difficult time for 3 years trying to figure out what to do. And in the end, I suddenly made a decision, and within 3 months, I was gone.
Gone means you left everything?
I left everything in Perth, Western Australia, and went back to Norway.
Okay. And what was running in your head when you were leaving everything?
Like I said, it took me quite a while to get to that point. Like a lot of inner confusion, what to do, not knowing what to do. I even went to Dubai. I applied for a psychologist job with the Emirates Airlines.
All right.
And didn't get the job. There was another girl. We were two selected, and there was a girl from South Africa that got the job. So I looked at Red Cross. I looked at different options, but nothing fell into place. I wanted to do a PhD, but then I didn't know what subject. So it was a lot of uncertainty. It's hard when you don't know and you really want to find something.
Yes.
Very confusing. And that's when I sort of like a bit of a hopelessness feeling, maybe a little bit depressed. Not knowing which direction. And in that time, I started doing meditation. That's when I started to explore, going from the outside in to try and find some peace of mind in the internal chaos.
Yeah.
Because it was an internal chaos. Really wanting something to happen and not knowing what to do. And slowly, and because I'm a very active person, it was very hard for me to quiet the mind to even sit.
Yes.
So in the end, I just said, okay, you don't have to sit for 20 minutes, just sit for 5 minutes. Just focus on your breathing. I tried to go for meditation classes, but that didn't work for me either. So I had to find my own way.
Right.
Find my own way and just sitting with it. And then suddenly, things just like, okay, suddenly I was just sitting there in deep meditation for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And slowly, I found peace and quiet inside.
All right.
There was more the external chaos, and it was quiet inside.
I want to understand that feeling in detail, but I think you have a lot to share further as well. So let's take it slowly in the conversation as well. When you went back to Norway and you had this feeling where you were trying to make a peace within yourself, were there thoughts to go back as well?
To Australia?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
So when I don't know, I had never thought that I would not go back. So I left Australia in 2003 and only have made one journey back in 2014.
All
since.
right.
I think it's because I did the work. So when I finally then made a decision to go, I was finished with it.
All right. So when you were there in Norway and you were also able to calm yourself from inside, what happened after it?
Yeah, you mean work-wise?
Yeah, work-wise, life-wise.
Yes.
Were there some mindset shift as well in your life, or what was it?
Well, yes. Then I decided to do like a private practice.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to do like work publicly, because I felt very confined.
I want to understand this feeling, because why it is important, because most of the people who would be watching this conversation, most of them would also be doing a 9 to 5, right? So for them to understand, like now, since you have a vast experience and you are a traveler today as well, where do you do a practice and then you travel? What was making you feel confined? And what were you seeking to, like, in your further work life? I want to understand that feeling in detail. What confinement meant to you at that time?
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention that we go through phases.
Yes.
So it's not that I spent 10 years, working at the hospital doing that. And it's, I think if you are doing if you're really passionate about it and it's working for you and you get energy from it, it's okay. But for me, it was the candle ran out. There was nothing more. The energy was gone. And for me, it was like managing to be in something that did not feel right anymore. So this is the point. We have to our body, mind, and spirit and soul, if you like, is telling us when something is not right. So it's listening to that. And sometimes it takes time. And sometimes, so for me, I was just going to the office and feeling completely completed, just sitting there staring at the screen, not finding energy to do anything. So I had to really work hard to get
you had to
my
push
work.
yourself.
Yeah, really. And so then I remember sitting in my lunchtime, just, praying that, okay, please just give me some energy to move through this, okay, it will happen, it will come. So it is, now I've lost your question, but
so I was asking what confinement meant to you. So yes. I think one thing you mentioned, that you were not feeling motivated to do work, was one thing.
Yes.
If you want to mention more of such things, and it is important for listeners as well.
Yes. No, it is that loss. You are not. It's not in alignment.
Okay.
And you've done it for so long that you run, that there is no energy, no passion in it. And I think I got to the point where it got so bad that it was very hard work. And then we have to do something about that. We have to listen to what's going on. And in the end, I was, I think, 6 months away from getting 10-year, you get leave, you get 3 months off. And I left before that. How stupid, really. But I was just so ready, I didn't care. So that's when you get to that point when you just do it. But of course, there is preparation in it.
Yes.
But looking back, I'm thinking, why didn't I just wait another 6 months? I could have get paid leave for 3 months.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't matter because I'm fine. I managed.
Yeah.
It was just that I think it's timing, and that is also we need to connect to ourselves and to realize that, okay, now is the time, but we should also prepare ourselves. We should just not jump we need some kind of parachute, some kind of safety, which will help, because often there's a lot of fear. I remember one of my things were when I left Australia, what's going to happen to my English? What's going to happen to this? Okay, I don't have a lot of money. Where am I going to live?
Yeah, uncertainty of tens of things.
A lot of uncertainty. And I stayed with my mother for 4 years because I didn't have enough money to buy my own place. I still had a place in Perth. So I ended up, which I wanted to keep, but in the end I sold it so I could buy a place in Norway.
Norway. Today, you yourself are a psychologist, and people who have similar feelings, let's say, can talk to you, right? And you can make them feel calm and make them able to take some decisions in the life, if I'm correct. But at that time, whom were you talking? Was it yourself only, or there were some people who were able to understand this feeling of yours?
Yes, as part of my psychology, registration, we had to get supervision. So I remember my supervisor. He was very good to have.
Okay.
But that was not that. That was through my divorce, because I was then doing my supervision through that time. And doing this, I mostly often sit with it myself. Okay. I do, but I do, like I said, there was I opened up to the spiritual side, and but my family was not there. My family was in Norway, but I had good friends that I did talk to.
So friends and your supervisor were there. Let's say to discuss. Maybe not to, let's say, take decisions together, but to discuss. So when you decided to do a private job or a private sessions type of things, what happened after that? Did you start doing the same, or it was something different?
No, so private practice, I took any cases.
Okay.
Working very broadly. So that was also first I worked together with a crisis practice where there was a group of people, a crisis psychology they are called in Bergen in Norway. And so we were a team, but we were independent as part of a bigger team. And so I was with them for 4 years, and then I separated from them. I had my own office. So that was, in the office, doing, sessions only in the office, and some also, because I did crisis management, I did some debriefings and some talks and to companies. Yeah.
So was life good after that? Were there feelings still same feelings to leave everything and go back or do something else, or it was good?
It was good because for a period of time, because I kept traveling.
Okay.
I kept traveling. I took some chunks out of the office, and that's always giving me inspiration and energy. So it's a good thing to do, because when I look after myself in that way, I get energy, and then I have more to give when I come back, which I think particularly for people in helping profession or any profession, but or life, We need to recharge in some way, take time out.
How do we get recharged from travel? Like, I understand that you cut yourself from your work, or maybe your whatever you do in day-to-day basis. That is a way, let's say, to think about it. But what actually happen when you travel? Like, you are a traveler, right? So we are planned travelers where we take breaks from our life. But today you are a traveler.
Yes.
So you can explain it very well. What happened when you travel, and how is the feeling? What do you seek when you are traveling?
Freedom.
Freedom from
responsibilities.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It's just, you can just like breathe. It's like you're becoming alive. And I like to travel without plans, because that's when the magic, it's really magical, because then the unexpected happens. In life, I think we are always seeking predictability, stability. This is the thing. With freedom, okay, with travel, it's just not always... you have to also sacrifice something. When you are a traveler, you also have freedom, but what happens to stability? Adventure, okay, what happens to the conventional life? The attachment to luxury. Whereas now, travel has taught me simplicity is luxury. It's taking things as they come, one step at a time. It is okay. Things will turn out. Uncertainty becomes certainty because it will happen.
Okay.
And it's no good. There is good, there is bad, but there's what is good may become bad, but the bad may become good. It all. Then you get into the mind, where the mind is free. And mind is clear. You get this inner calm because you are answering your calling. So for me, after 3 months working hard, there is this pull. There is this inner calling. And if I don't answer that calling, I will suffer. And so it's the sacrifice then. So then the sacrifice is not doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there is so much that you get from it. It is this inner, I'm sure you must have felt it, when you, responsibilities, you have all these things you have to answer to, your house you have to manage, you have to do this, you have all these, everything that happens around you is just tiring,
So travel helps you to discover certainty in uncertainties is one of the takeaways for me as well. But what do you actually mean by it? Like certainty in uncertainty. I want to break it down because let's say a lot of people make a lot of plans and they want to fall things into that plan only. And when things do not take place as per plan, they feel demotivated, as if this was the only option in their life. It can be with relationships, it can be with career,
everything.
Yeah, it can be with anything. How to navigate that? How to think when these things happen, when you were looking for a certain relationship and it did not happen. You were making plans, you were very specific, very certain about it. How to navigate that phase in life? And I'm sure the calls you get in your profession, they must be related to these things only, where they would be thinking something specific and it did not happen. It can be about the relationship with, let's say, a husband-wife relationship, a mother-child relationship, a father-child relationship, employee-employer relationship. How to navigate those tough times?
Absolutely. I think to make it very simple, because this is what happens is these situations, all these life-changing situations becomes very complicated when we think about them. So it is really thinking about, okay, what is happening right now? Because people usually, including myself, we think ahead, what's going to happen? So we think, oh my God, this is bad. Okay, but what about if we don't see it right now, but there will come something good out of it? So how do we navigate? Again, it has to do with, okay, we have to take a deep breath. Okay. And then become aware of our thoughts. What is it? What are we afraid of? Of course, we are going to get disappointed. I remember in 2015, my suitcase got stolen on a train in India, right above my head. Okay. Everything inside. What was I thinking? At first, I got, very anxious. Oh my God, where's my suitcase? Looking around, started to walk around the different carriages. Then I realized my suitcase is stolen. It's a bit like this when people get divorced. Of course, sometimes it can come slowly, but sometimes it can come like a shock. This was like a shock, like a trauma. But how did I navigate? Okay, we go through it. We go through the steps, one step at a time. Otherwise, it becomes very overwhelming. It hits us, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to breathe. We have to pause. We have to say, okay, well, what's so bad about this? What is the worst thing that can happen? I surprised myself that time. Already then, I think that we have too much stuff. Very quickly, okay, what did I have to do? Okay, I had to report it to the police. Luckily, I had insurance. I got not a lot of money. I got money back for a lot of things. And internally, I was thinking, okay, all right, it's gone. Someone needed it more than me. Now I have less to worry about, but I didn't have any clothes. So it was the inconvenience, right? And initially I had thought, because then I was carrying a lot of recording stuff.
Okay.
And that morning, I usually have it in my backpack that I hold on to, which I was holding on to, thank God. My passport, everything, those things I had in my carrier bag. But that morning, I had plenty of room in my suitcase. So I put my expensive recording stuff in my suitcase. And it was the memory cards with all the stuff I had done with Guruji in Varanasi. We had done a lot of meditation stuff, his talks, everything was on there. Then I suddenly realized, oh no, it's there. So you go through things in your mind, and it's really, we have to work with our thoughts. What are we telling ourselves? And we have to shift, we have to shift the mind. Okay, it will work out. It's okay. And I was actually thinking, okay, now I don't have it. But of course, there is disappointment. There is that inconvenience. I didn't have any clothes, toiletries. It was all gone. But so what do I do? Okay, we move through it. Which is very important.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, how do we think? And this is good because this is the practice. And we will see, we move through it, we manage one step at a time, no matter how bad it is. Even people who I talk to who lose people in suicide in different ways, okay, we move through it. We are made in a way to deal with these things. We humans are very strong. It's...
I get it. I think a solution-oriented approach every time you face any tragedy is one thing to think about and look as it can give you a solution. Like you have a solution-oriented approach to things. So yesterday I was driving my car And my car, like having a car is very important for me in my profession. So I have to carry a lot of equipments with me. My production team, they also go to different locations with me, my wife. So car is a necessity for us, not a luxury. And yesterday I was looking to meet a client. I was parking my car, and the guard was guiding me from the back to, let's say, park the car properly. And one iron rod was there, and it missed out from his vision as well, and from mine too. It was not coming in the camera. Hit the mirror, the windshield, the rear windshield, and banged. The mirror, the windshield got broken, and I could not like drive in that condition because I had costly equipments in my car. And if I park the car in that condition anywhere, people can take out things from the car. Yes. So it was a bad situation, and it was let's say a sudden situation. So I had this approach. Okay, what to do? I went to Google Map, searched for a showroom. I went to the showroom, asked them for the expenses and all, parked my car there. I was worried because it comes with money, like, right? You have and it was very useless. I would say. I had no mistake, and I made no mistake, and there was no reason to happen. But I say, okay, maybe it had to happen, and maybe worse could have been done. Yes. Right. I parked my car. And today we have like our car is in the showroom, and we cannot like come to office from the car, go to house. So my wife and I are enjoying time in the cab. So we are usually I am driving and she's in the side seat. But today the driver was driving and we were in the back seats. Yes. We were enjoying clicking selfies and posting on Instagram, saying, "Okay, blessing in disguise. This has allowed us to talk, to spend, to laugh, because I can pay attention." So I think in life we should think in that way, but sometimes the situations are very critical. I think that also need to be addressed and not to be taken lightly. I would say materialistic damage, it can still be recovered, not easily, with time. If you have patience, it can get recovered. And yes, many people face it. And not one time, multiple times. People face bankruptcies as well, and then they evolve. Yes. But loss of people, like loss of people from life, when you have higher stakes, that is something difficult to navigate. What do you think? What kind of people should we talk to when we are in that time, when we are in those phases? So I'm sure you must be understanding my point. Yes. There is one materialistic damage, another is people-based damage. Like,
but we still need the same. We still need to be able to shift our thoughts, and it's if we even. Materialistic things, people could find that difficult.
Yes, I get it. Yeah,
and but the more we practice any of these things in life, the more we realize, even when it's very, very tough things, that okay, I can manage this. And the more practice we have, the more experience we have in training our mind in this particular way. And understanding how we work, the easier, it's tough. Like I say to people who go through divorce, who lose people, I mean, this is your pain is normal. It's not that we should not feel pain. It's not that this should not be difficult, because this unpredictability, uncertainty, like with the car, with my suitcase, and a million other examples we can mention. My divorce. I mean, it's tough. We know that. We know, but we also know that it's then very important, as you say, what's important. Yeah, it's important to have. Then it's very important to have safety reference points around us because people who don't have that, then it's definitely very important to get help, professional help, or in India, maybe sadhus, maybe help from friends. Doesn't matter where the help comes from, really, as long as there is a feeling that, okay, this is a safe, good person for me that can help me. And that's the thing. It's feeling safe in very challenging times, right, where if, for example, this is, like my divorce was the first real kind of slam, real, very difficult life experience. And it was finding my way, navigating through it and understanding how the mind works.
Right.
And also at that same time, I lost my father. I was going through, I was doing my master's, and sometimes in life, everything comes at once, really testing us. And so then it's okay. We need to find that strength, internal strength. And it is tough.
Yeah. Yeah, tough.
It is tough, and it's normal, and it's necessary. But we don't have to suffer alone. And that's what many people do. It's a bit of some people don't ask for help, for example. And some people do it more on their own. They're finding it through the meditation, or, there are so many things we can do, like writing. Writing is very good therapy, and nature. Like we haven't talked about that, but I love hiking, trekking.
Yes, we will talk about it in detail.
Yes, and that's nature. It has a very calming effect on us. Anything, breaking things, for example. Important to eat properly, sleep. All these things, but if we are very disturbed, we may not. That may be one of the signs.
Yes,
So this is a very big subject. In terms of how it affects people and how we navigate through this. It really depends on how the person handles it. But very often people fear their reaction to it. That's why I'm saying it's normal. Because it's very common for people to think that, oh my God, I'm going crazy. I shouldn't be feeling like this. But yes, you should. And it's normal, and it's okay. It's not dangerous. This is perfect, actually.
Yeah. I think that's a good mental model to work upon. First, it is important to normalize and think in a sense that, okay, this has happened. But it can happen to anyone and everyone.
Yes.
And this time it has happened with me.
Yes.
Then going to a solution-driven approach. What's the comeback? And then take action. I think if we follow this process,
yes,
if not easily, but with time, you can navigate calmness or mental peace.
And the thing is, we often, these are changes in life. We are constantly changing. Nature is constantly changing, but we are somehow resisting it because we want it to be the same. We want things to be safe, like we say. And then suddenly we got this, something happens that make these changes, which can be very good for us, but we don't realize.
Yeah.
And there are many, there is a big spectrum of this, because like yesterday I was talking to a woman who lost her husband in suicide, and she said, well, she's around 50, and she said, I would have never thought that my life, I was going to be in a situation where I was married to someone for so many years and be in a situation where I'm a widow because my husband killed himself. So I said, okay, yes, that's true. We never know, but we think that we know what life is going to be like, but we don't. And when we are open we can say we know 50% and 50% we don't know.
Yeah, it's always probability.
Yeah, but like I said to her, okay, but you are now in this situation, and what's amazing about it is that you have the strength to hold it. You are moving through it, and you've done an amazing job. Her and her children have really remarkable how they have dealt with it. And what happens, the good things in those situations is that it also it can make you or break you. And with her and her children and their challenges in it, I have really made them close. They're doing it. It's beautiful how they've you come together and done it, and also challenges. Of course, many, and at times overwhelming, issues. But okay, we take one step at a time, and you see, like you said with the car, okay, we move through it, and no matter how difficult, this is what we have to do. We have to breathe and trust. Trust is a big one. Trusting the body. The body knows, okay, of course you're going to have sleepless nights. Of course, you're going to worry about things, and now you have to do it all on your own. And there are many things, but we move through it. We find our way, and by listening and getting the help.
Right. I think very well said. In our off-camera interactions, you also mentioned that there were two phases in your life. First one was when, let's say, you went back to Norway and you were doing your work, and then you were traveling. So you were doing a planned travel. But in 2009, something big happened, and you left everything, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, but yes, I left everything. But the thing is, everything was there. But this is the fear we move through, right? Again, the uncertainty. Again, I was very unfulfilled. It's because then I had been back in Norway from 2003. I had a very busy private practice, even though I took time out, like 2-3 months at a time, or 6 weeks, to kind of get the energy to get back into it again. And so 2003, and then in 2007, I also took on like a crisis management job, teaching crisis management to organizations. So that was 2003 to 2009. But then I got exhausted.
Okay.
I got burnt out.
So again, same things were happening.
Yes.
You were getting very less time for yourself.
Yes.
You got burnt out.
Yes.
Feeling of leaving everything. How did you navigate this time?
Yeah, so this I realized I had to do something. Again, it was that inner calling. I want something. I was trying to write a book, but it wasn't happening. Again, it became sort of too intellectual. So what was this feeling telling me, listening to this inner yearning, calling, and again, not really knowing what it was. And so frustrating. And and then the burden of that frustration becomes so big that if you don't listen to it, I know I would end up in depression, because otherwise, this calling becomes so strong. So first I did the Camino. So how did I navigate? Okay, I closed down my private practice, and I gave up my crisis management job. And of course, there were fear in that. But again, I guess this is courage, isn't it? You put things into place. I had some savings. I rented out my place. So it's putting in place those safety measures and thinking, okay, it's okay. I have enough. I have enough for the travel. And I also, in between, came back and did some work. But then I went off again.
Yeah.
So it's, again, it's, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing is I can look back now and see that if I didn't do it, the sacrifice would be bigger, so it's what can we lose? And I've lost nothing. I'm so glad. I think we will regret more what we don't do than by not doing it.
Not doing it, yes.
And I think looking back, I mean, that is my life. That's, I would never want to do anything. That is so important, because I got also in that time, I got other offers. So if I had continued to climb my career path as a traditional psychologist, I got some really good offers, which was so hard to say no to. But then this inner calling. So if the inner calling is not so strong, then of course you may go the other way, which may be okay. But when the calling is so strong, if you don't choose that way, it will be consequences, I think. It will be more destructive for you, because obviously this thing, the heart, the inner, it is telling us something, right? It's an inner knowing, which we have to trust. And that's the thing with all this. You say, how are you navigating it? It's constantly reminding to trust that it will unfold, it will be okay. And as a result of that, I wrote the book.
Yeah. You've written a book, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole mind opened up to painting, which I never thought I would ever do. So it was an inspirational fountain. And it was that freedom, a feeling of freedom away from everything, the mind opening up to things that I could never, ever imagine in magical ways that I could never think myself. It still baffles me.
Great. I think this is what certainty in uncertainty means. Leaving like your traditional practices and doing something non-traditional made you to write a book, do some paintings, do some amazing treks, learn more about life, and parallelly managing your expenses as well.
Yes.
Right. So I think you navigated it beautifully. What is this book about which you've written?
Yeah, this is Walking Into It.
Okay.
A pilgrimage through foreign lands to inner worlds. So this book is based on that track. So I did in north of India, Ladakh Sanskar track. And but that summer when I quit my job and my practice, I first did the Camino de Santiago in Spain, which was 1 month walking from France to Spain. So that's the introduction to the book. And then I got back to Norway and then went off to India to do this solo trek. Yeah. But with guides. Obviously, I could not do that on my own.
Yeah.
Which was really life-changing. Something happened to the energy in Leh, Ladakh. Everything is very different. It's like a moon landscape. And I think that kind of change too, when it's so different, does something to us. And it was like my mind was mirroring, or the landscape was mirroring, and I started to see things in the mountains. So it just means that there is a shift in the mind. I could think that, okay, I'm going crazy. People are going to think I'm crazy seeing these things. But I think it's the mind changing, and it was mostly walking 21 days on over 5,000 meters. And it's very harsh, but even though we may not be aware of it, there is something happening to the mind when we can just walk and don't have to worry about other things. Of course, it's tough, but on the body. But again, then this mantra: one step at a time.
Breathe.
One step at a time.
How do you prepare yourself mentally? Because in trekking, as we were discussing, with physical fitness, mental fitness is also required. And when
Yeah.
you know that this track is like this, like one you did in Spain, the other you did in Ladakh. And before this, were you also making some short treks as well, or?
Yes, I've always, I do exercise quite a bit. I go usually like when I'm in Norway and have my routine.
Okay.
I go out every day, maybe an hour a day, hiking. And so it varies, but these are long tracks, which is unusual. I mean, not what I do daily. But when you keep a regular fitness, you can do this, and I know I'm good at long distance. So I definitely wouldn't recommend someone doing it unless they know that they have done some good long distance hiking. And also, of course, it's not a given that you can handle the altitude. Some people get very sick from it. But if there's something you really, really want to do, definitely, start preparing. And again, hopefully know your limitations. And again, we have to listen to, these things. I had then already done some challenging tracks. I did Kilimanjaro. I had done that before that. I had done Mount Everest Base Camp.
Oh, all right.
So I had experience doing it. But again, we never know. I mean, who knows whether you're going to get up to Kilimanjaro or not?
Yes.
But
what's that feeling when you complete the treks?
Oh, it's a really good feeling. I mean, it's something accomplished. It's. And I think it's not just the destination, not getting there, it's the whole journey.
Yeah.
Because I recently did Rim of Africa, which not many people have heard about.
I have heard about it.
You have? Yeah. There's 9 stages over 2 months, but I did 35 days. So 5 weeks, which was different, but it's very harsh. It's very... I'm not particularly that fond of camping, really. But now again, that was experience, and it's just you surrender yourself to nature and live with nature. And if we can just bring some of that back into everyday life, I think that's the clue. I mean, it's not that people have to go and do all these extreme things unless you really are prepared for it and want to challenge yourself and do it. I think that's also, I like to challenge myself doing new things, which gives me a lot of, you say, okay, how do you feel? I mean, it's you are exhausted, but you are, I mean, it's wonderful to...
Yeah, I think the feeling must be in a way that, I have done this. I've tested myself mentally, physically, spiritually.
Yes.
And this is one of the other, let's say, achievements which I've made. And when you get back to in your day-to-day life, maybe you can think about that trek. I've completed that. It was so much. My life was on the stake, maybe. My fitness was, my health was on the stake, but I completed it. This is a situation in life. Is this tough from that? No. So let's do this as well. I think if we think about trekking or about traveling in that sense, that can also help us to deal with things in our day-to-day life easily.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And in your profession, does it help, you're traveling, you're trekking, does it help while you are talking to people?
Absolutely. I think I am, I mean, you get different perspectives on life, and you open up. I mean, India, Nepal, all these places, they are so humbling.
Yeah.
It's, and all the different lives, you have beggars, you have walkers, you have, people who go to the office, but you have, I mean, there's so many different perspective, cultures. And again, it's the inspiration, it's different energy. And again, the pause it doesn't matter how long the pause is, but if you can take time out and retreat for yourself and to, again, it's experiencing something else. It gives you something. It's not like we are losing something. So you say, okay, you left all this behind, but what do we are thinking, okay, but what am I losing this? But what are we gaining? Can we ask, okay, what am I going to get from this? What about if this happens? And then it happens when we are not planning, things happen so unexpectedly. Like this time, I went to Nepal. I had an idea of a plan, but I was offered to by Rinpoche stay at his place in Mustang for 2 weeks, and I ended up staying for 6 weeks. And I wish I never left.
Yeah,
Totally unexpected, but being open and flexible. It's that flexibility and not thinking, okay, it has to be this way, and if it doesn't happen like this, then oh my God,
yes.
And then it turns out much better.
Right.
But it again, yeah.
Right. Bogle, we have so much to discuss, but I think for this conversation, it was beautiful for me to know about you, to know about things you've done, things you are doing. I think in further conversations, we will dig deep into what things you are doing in these days. How are you helping people? And how people can deal with these different difficult situations with people, with your involvement, with people like you, with their involvement, or with themselves. How to talk from yourself, within yourself, what practices to do. I think we will dig deeper into these kind of things. But for this conversation, I think we should conclude it here only, and keep some interesting questions for the next conversations as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this one. Looking forward to the next one.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.